Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen and welcome to Kats Creations Live on Friday night. I want to welcome all my creative DIYers and crafters where we're going to be making a vintage retro, can't use Candy Crush because that's a trademark term, but we can refer to it as a Candy Crush kind of like wreath because we're not selling it under the premise of Candy Crush. But if you've ever played the game, this term, sugar rush, happens whenever the Swedish Fish came out, and then you would get extra bonus points. So sign today, Jane's Front Door Decor, she released this sign I think as of yesterday, and I apologize, I probably should have let her in on the fact that I was going to be incorporating this in my design because she hadn't released it yet. So I'm sure she got a lot of requests from viewers saying, hey, looking for the Sugar Rush or Candy Crush type of sign. So she did release it, and she is not any longer incorporating pre-drilled holes. Like, she would give you the option of two at the top and the bottom, side to side, one in each corner, but that just becomes time consuming when you're shipping out a ton of signs. So what you will want to pick up, because I recommend this with all the metal signs you purchase, is to pick up a 1.5, or you can go with a 2.0 millimeter. I've never had a problem needing to go higher. So 1.5 millimeter metal hole punch pliers. These are by Beadsmith. Got these on Amazon. Steve's going to post my affiliate link, which allows you, Posted it, should be in the comments. So if you want to go pick these up, they're like $8.35. So you will want to incorporate these instead of using the little metal adhesive tags, because those have a tendency in extreme weather to kind of soften up and pop off. It looks so much nicer when you just pop a hole in your sign, thread whatever you need to thread through your sign, and attach it to your wreath. So
in the link, when I paste the link, it doesn't come up as a pasted thread, but they can just take a snapshot of the screen and then just type it in.
All right.
It's in Amazon, so yeah, that's the only bad thing.
All right, so just copy paste that and put it into your Amazon browser. So we're going to be using a 14-inch. This is a pre-wired wreath form, work wreath form is what they call them. This was still in part of that stash that I got not this April but last April, so I'm really trying to utilize and get rid of that because the space that it occupies in my garage is huge. So I am going to be using these quite a bit, but you could still do this on a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. Like I said, I'm just using it up so that I can show you different types of techniques instead of always using Dollar Tree form. So this one came from Burton & Burton. You could get them at Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Craft Outlet, Thurry Shop, Trendy Tree. You would just want to, I like the ones that are a little bit thicker. There's ones called pencil ties, and those are very thin. I don't like using those ones. I like the ones that are a little bit fluffier. They look nicer when you finish. But you have your option. They run from about $4.99 to $6.99. I try to go with the local retail stores because you can apply a coupon to that and reduce the cost a little bit. So it just depends on what size, what type. Sometimes they're like, they elevate and go up. This one's where it kind of goes up and goes down. It's like an upside down V. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's weird. It's like the bottom one's here, and then they have a middle one, and then they have an interior one, but there's nothing on the middle. So like I said, using it up, trying to carve back some of my garage space. So sign, we're using 21-inch Deco mesh. This is a white lime green, and it's kind of like a rose pink color. This came from Walmart, if you can believe that. I don't think I bought it. I think it just kind of came in the stash, but don't shortchange Walmart as far as craft supplies, you just never know. There's some people whose stores carry really good quantities of product. So next time you're in Walmart doing whatever, just head over to their craft aisle and look in where they sell the wreath forms, grapevines, floral foam, all kinds of stuff, and just see what they have as they start to launch their seasonal items. Then we're gonna incorporate some of these cute little candy plastic picks. So I have them in the lime green, a little bit paler pink, a little bit darker pink. We have some peppermint sticks. So we're gonna kind of play off of that whole candy theme instead of incorporating actual candy into the wreath. So before I start, any questions?
Nope, a lot of gals joining on. We have about 80 so far, so hi gals. I'm not gonna name you all. Welcome, happy Friday.
Yes, definitely happy Friday. So remember, private group, we're not doing the Sunday tutorial because we're spending it, or we're giving it back to our husbands who so graciously allow us the opportunity to craft. I don't know what we're doing, but we'll do something. So Friday, this is it, and then I'll tell you about next Friday. But I do want to tell you guys this one thing. As of today, this very video is the 100th video that I have made for the public group. So as of tonight, once we post this video, there will be 100 videos under Kats Creations, which is mind-blowing to think about. And that's not including the videos in my private group, which I think are about 60 in addition to the 100. So we'll be letting you know, because I thought it was going to be next week, but we'll tell you what's going to go on for next week later. So stay tuned, don't skip out.
So I said, hey Kat, wishing you a blessed and beautiful evening. Thank you for sharing your talents with us.
Thank you.
So thrilled to be with you again from Virginia.
Awesome.
And then Kathy said, who's not drilling holes? Jane's Front Door Decor.
Right. If you've ever ordered signs from Jane's Front Door Decor, one of the options she gave you is when you scroll down to to one of the options, it would say holes, no holes. If you pick the option for holes, it'd be top and bottom, side to side, or one in each corner, and now she's not doing that any longer. So pick up. These are so critical, because even if you go to Hobby Lobby or Joann's and Michael's or Salvation Army, Goodwill, whatever, and you find a metal sign, you're gonna need to find a way to incorporate how to attach that sign to your roof. These are lifesavers. Worth every penny for $8.
And thank you, Sandra. She just wished me a happy Father's Day.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you, Jackie.
So I'm going to flip this over because I'm going to be starting my attaching this, which is I just take the very top and I'm going to kind of gather this all together, and I'm going to contain this mess before we start on the inside, and I'm going to attach it right here to the inner ring with a zip tie.
A couple gals said they can't wait to see this wreath. They've been looking forward to it.
I know, I did one of these.
On 100 videos.
Isn't that insane? That is just, I couldn't believe that. I was like, wow, 100 videos. I had to actually pull it up at lunch. I'm like, 99 videos today makes 100. So I'm just attaching it to the cross rail on the inside so that this is all contained. And then I'll just flip this over. Did I even do this right?
Thank you, gals.
Probably not. I should have gone the other way from the top to the bottom. So I'm gonna cut this back off.
Oh, you put it on the bottom?
I put it on the bottom first. Should have fed it through, just like this. And then flipped it over. I was like, what am I thinking? Okay. So, zip tie.
Wow, gals are saying that's awesome. Congratulations on 100.
I know.
Tiffany said, dude, this mesh is my favorite. This was for Easter, I guess. It's much better than the regular line. I have this in its companion, which is a white with a thin line and pink stripe.
Okay, very good.
There was a blue, a purple, and a ombre white too.
Yes, I remember seeing that. I have the blue, the purple, and the white. But when I went out to try to find, I did one similar last year, a little bit earlier in 2018, and it was a burlap. So it was very soft, like mesh. Mm-hmm. But what I like about Walmart's mesh is it's very soft. It's not hard and crispy. Yeah. So we're gonna work on the inside first. So I'm gonna flip all my exterior ones to the outside. Now the interior ones are spaced. There's 9, crazy, 9 on the inside, 8 on the outside. Go figure. But what they do is they are incorporating one in between every one of the ones on the outside, so that you have a poof opposite the poof on the bottom. So we're gonna go a little bit smaller. Normally we go like 10-inch poofs, but because now I'm not doing 6, I'm doing 9. We're gonna do these probably about 6, 7 inches just for the middle.
Sharon in Jerome said, congrats on being like one of the top wreath makers on YouTube.
Isn't that crazy? I got that in my email. It's like you made the top 20 wreath makers to watch of 2019. I was like, what? Then I had to open it and I was like, is it a scam? Let me look. Do they want something from me? Do I have to pay for this?
Even above Deco Exchange. Woo woo.
You know, it's all based on viewers. So it's the number of people.
How many videos?
How many videos? How many page views?
Yeah.
How many subscribers? So
yeah.
it's just good.
Peggy said she used this Deco mesh for Christmas last year.
This one?
Yeah.
I like this color. It's very pretty. So I'm doing them about 7 inches just on the inside, and I have the opportunity just to kind of fluff as I'm going. So that should be right about there. It's starting to kind of fold up underneath.
Hey guys, just joining.
So we're gonna pull this back just a little bit. But these, I'm hoping this will go a little quicker. So we shall see. And we'll go from there. I like having a lot of embellishments to add to this. I really wanted to post this as a Candy Crush wreath, but you can't, because then you're using copyright infringement to garner a sale. So I just left it as Sugar Rush. I'm thinking if you play the game, you should know. And I only played it, I think, when it first came out. I don't play it anymore. Too busy. So you guys,
This is a 21-inch Deco mesh
from Walmart.
poof design, and you're doing 10 inches? Like you normally do? No?
7 in the inside.
7 inches? Okay.
Because I have 9. You guys know I'm only used to working with like 6 on the inside. So we're just doing 7-inch little poofs. And then we'll be able to poof greater on the outside, but then we'll also go through, because we have that elevated rail. So we'll be able to poof that. Should work on a nicer zigzag.
Deborah, I don't think so, but you can always just check out Jane's front door decor site.
What's
She
that?
asked if they have any like Father's Day signs that fathers who have passed.
Oh.
So I would just check there. I don't know if they do or not.
Yeah, a lot of times if you just let them know that you would be interested in something like that, they might direct you towards something that might be similar or might work. But if not, I mean, I know this year that a lot of the sign vendors really went all out to create ones for moms who weren't with us any longer. So if you ask, you know, they could just say no. Or they could say, hey, that's a great idea. Let's make one.
Kat asked, where did you get your candy?
It was in the stash. But I have seen similar candy at Hobby Lobby at Christmas time. Something similar. I forget. I want to say that's where I saw it, but it was, I think the colors were different. But I'm just using up the last of my stash, and I just have a small little bag left. I sold all of it, a big chunk of it, a bin of it, last year.
Jackie, you said love the fall wreath on the door.
That was our private group
Did
one
you
from
upload this
Sunday.
earlier? Yeah, this was from
It was Sundays in the private group.
It was Sundays in the private group where she did it live on the for the private group.
Yeah, we just did a fall floral just because I came across the sign in my craft outlet order and I was like, ooh, let's use this.
And since we're on Friday, feel free to go ahead and share, and thank you for being here and watching.
I'm going to, so this is where I have started. I'm going to jump down to my bottom, and I'm going to do just the outside. There's only 8 on the outside, but I'm going to do these in 10-inch poofs, so you'll start to see a bigger increase. And then we'll come back around and fill the middle. We call the in-between row. So what the small poofs did is it created a good base for where our sign's going to go. I'm gonna drop this to the floor.
No problem, Kathy. Hope you're doing okay, and hope everything's okay. Our prayers are going out to you. She said she'll watch the replay after things settle down with her dad's passing.
Yeah.
So hard to hear about that.
Right before Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's hard. Definitely.
Tiffany's all, show the candy, show the candy, show the candy.
I will. I think the one that I did the first time around, it looked really real. So I had to make sure that I was like really, you know, in my disclosure, this is not real candy. You can't eat it. It's all artificial. You never know. Some people will be like, hey, that looks like really good sugary kind of candy. And it's funny, the one that we did last year, the sign, they don't even make the sign anymore.
Yeah,
The
no.
vintage retro candy shop one. And I think it actually went to a candy shop owner up in the mountains somewhere.
I think so too, yeah.
They said they were giving it to a shop owner who has a little candy shop. And I was thinking, man, that's perfect. Because that's kind of what you envision when you're making them. This would be so cute. Little farmer's market vendor.
Kathy, that's amazing. 101 years is a heck of a life. That's a long life. Glad you got to have him in your life that long.
Yeah, just imagine the things he has been a witness to. That is very long life. I think that's what some of us hope to achieve. We always say that. It'd be nice to live that long, but we would like to be healthy living that long. Not just in poor health.
Yeah, he was actually the age of the Depression era.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of fluffing as I go. And this is where I have to kind of...
You ever said, let Cat love the poofs? How do you decide what type of design or pattern you were going to do with each wreath?
I always think, what do I want it to look like afterwards? And I knew that I was going to be inserting candy in here. So knowing that, I needed places to be able to kind of tuck those in. So poof kind of made logical sense to do that. Because if you did it any other technique, it would be too flat. And then your candies would kind of lay down on top of the ribbon.
And she usually gets her inspiration from either the sign or the ribbon.
It was the sign. I think when we did the ribbon class, and the ribbon class is on the public group, we had that sign. So we were actually looking at my ribbon choices and picking out ribbons. So believe it or not, that's where I got some of the inspiration for, hey, I remember people said on the ribbon video, use this. So let's grab that and let's incorporate that in the design so they can kind of see how it all comes together. So we want it to look poofy, like cotton candy. So there's another reason, like how do you decide? You know, you want it fluffy, like candy.
Gary actually said, hope it's Gary. He actually said, great wreath hanging on the door.
Oh, thank you.
Made that last week in our private group on Sunday.
I love florals for fall.
And
Florals
then
are big.
Sandra asked, are you still doing 7 inches on the outside?
No, we moved to 10 inches because I had 9 on the inside and the diameter is very small. Now moving to the outside with 8, I'm able to take it back to what we would normally do.
So she had 9 ties on the inside and 8 on the outside.
So I'm just going 10-inch poofs to the outside, and I'm rejoining the original right here. So I'm just going to open this one, not that I need to, and then I'm going to zigzag the remainder of this Deco mesh into the center. So what we have is, if you pull these apart, you have that middle rail that's here. So it's gonna be just a little bit higher, but we're gonna probably do, let's try 10 and see what it looks like. So I'm just gonna zigzag down the middle. So from the bottom, I'm going up to the top, and I'm just going to add it to the existing twist ties, whatever you want to call them, little fluffy pieces. And then we'll do another 10 inches or so, and then we'll jump down to the bottom to kind of do a zigzag, because by the time you finish with this wreath, there's not much left for you to conquer doing another wreath. I know for a fact I do not have this color, so it's pointless for me to try to save it and salvage something out of here. I just don't have the rest of the mesh, and it wouldn't look good to kind of mix two different colors with this. I think that would just be weird.
Gary asked, where do you sign up for the lives?
You can point it out because now you're actually in the live, so you can see it, right?
I meant for the private group.
Oh, private group.
Yeah.
Steve's going to attach the comment to that one. You just go to Cats Creations, the letter N, the word more, M-O-R-E, which is my website, .com. Scroll all the way to the bottom, so you're going to go past all the products, and then you'll see all the information. One is a document that explains to you what all you get, discounts from places like Jane's Front Door Decor, Personally Yours on Etsy, Perpetual Ribbons, who now has her own website. Who else? Affordable Wreath Signs. Right now, what's really big is the Square. So I have a Square referral link on there that allows you to get your first $1,000 in sales fee free, which is big. So you make all your money the first 1,000. So there's a ton of other information there.
And the form, you can get the form at a lot of places. You can order on Craft Outlet, the white wreath frame form. It's called a work frame form.
Yeah, wire work frame wreaths.
Hobby Lobby sometimes has them, especially in the seasonal. They have different colors.
Yep.
The wreath shop probably should have them.
Trendy Tree.
Trendy Tree, yep.
Anywhere. You're just gonna look up wire work form. Wire wreath work form.
And they come with different ties, different numbers of ties, so you just have to look.
Yeah.
You have to check.
So sometimes they can kind of be irritating when they give you odd numbers, because if you're doing odd number ribbons, you're going to come up short. You're going to come up with two of them that are going to be like side by side. So you're going to want to either add an additional pipe cleaner or take one out.
When Phyllis asked if you're going to hang a wreath outside, can you spray it with, what can you spray with for protection?
I don't really think that you need to.
They do have a weatherproofing.
There's a UV spray.
You can spray it with Scotch Guard, UV spray, but just you have to give them a disclaimer that if you hang it outside in the weather,
it doesn't matter what you spray.
Yeah, over time it's going to wear. So.
Darker colors will fade more noticeably than others, so we just suggest to not place it in direct sunlight. But you never know. Some customers just want a one-season wreath. The Deco mesh that we're using right now is waterproof, so it will stand up to the elements. It has that disclaimer on the outside of the product package, but it's the direct sunlight right now that would be our biggest enemy, because you're going to have fading.
Well, that'd be great if all you guys and gals could share this. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Share away.
And she's going to do something later on very cool for her next
live. The next live, I know.
So stay tuned.
That is very true. So I'm almost running out of, I'm starting to lift the roll off the ground.
Phyllis says this Deco mesh was from Walmart. It was for Easter. I'm not sure if they still have it, but you could probably find something similar to it at Cropped Outlet or other places too.
Maybe. Just look for something that is like a, what do you call it, lime green, pink, and white. I think it just goes good with the sign.
Dee, yes, she has done a video on the flower board on our private group.
I have quite a few in there.
Yeah.
The rose wreath, we did the African daisy, which was an all purple sunflower. We just did the poly burlap sunflower in the private group. So quite a bit. And then there's materials lists. That's the big thing that most people like.
Deborah asked a good question, and yes, the answer is yes, you have. But she said, Kat, out of all your videos on your private group, and I'm in your private group, have you ever done one on how to get more views, visits, and sales to your shop?
Yes, I have.
Yep. I have your video list, but I don't see that it is why I was asking.
Oh, okay. I will go look. Who is it that's asking?
Deborah Cassidy.
Okay, I will find the exact video and then I'll just tag you in that one. I think it's like, it's all about the numbers, I think is what I had posted it under. How to know your numbers, what kinds of things you can do to increase your numbers.
Yep, how to tag all your posts from Etsy onto Pinterest, all that stuff. Yep.
And then how to check. Because you could do it all day long, but then some people will be like, well, how do I know if that's working or not? Well, you have to know your starting numbers and then what you're changing, where you're changing it, and are you seeing that change anywhere? So, see, here's where I'm at. I'm right here. So I'm dipping down. I think I have like 2 to go. So this is gonna turn out just perfect. So, but yes, super simple to get your viewership up. You got to talk to the people. There's a reason why it's called social media. If you're not social and you're not engaging, the people who are commenting, they're just going to stop talking to you.
So I think we told you she got that from Walmart.
The mesh?
The mesh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get it from Walmart. It was in my stash, but the label on it said Walmart.com.
Oh, that's right. Judy replied, I have a red and purple rose she did on the flower board. They're beautiful.
Yes, she does. She has both of them. I love the purple one. It's my favorite. The purple rose.
And I like the dark red one.
Yeah. Well, we started with the dark one because we wanted it for Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
The red rose. Because you can't put Disney's Beauty and the Beast. You just have to put red rose. So literally this is what I have left. So I'm going to take this little piece right here. I'm going to bring this to the inside and then pull it through, because now what we have managed to do is we have confined all the fraying, because the only place it's going to fray is where it is cut, and so we confined it at the beginning and now we're confining it at the end. So once we do this, we're ready to go. And everything else is a finished edge, so it's not going to fray anywhere else. So I'm going to take this and tie off on another crossbar so it won't slide around the wreath.
Lenore said the same thing. That's what she needs to learn too, how to engage customers. She'll look for that video.
Yes, engaging. That's what it's what I've been told. There's a reason why it's called social media. So Facebook is like our TV channel. So I'm going to cut the excess off because it's kind of like wonky shaped. It's just the way it came off the roll. So as you can see, here's my start, or here's where I started, here's where I finished. So all of that is combined to the underside. And then I'll just kind of fluff some of these poofs.
Hi gals, just join in.
Toss this. Okay, so this is what it has done. So you don't have that traditional hole in the middle. I mean, it's kind of there, but it's created such a nice space for us to go ahead and attach our sign to. So that's what we're going to do. Actually, just pulling some of my poofs back in place. Okay, so this is going to kind of sit. Do you want it? This one believe it or not, is going to sit in the middle. Sometimes I have them kind of off to the side, big bow, but this one, based on the design in my head, it's going to sit in the middle. It'll have a bow here, it'll have a bow here, and then lots of ribbon, room for candy and stuff. So I'm going to attach my sign from the sides so that I can actually feed it down to the bottom. And I'll show you how easy these work. It's just like a hole punch. I kid you not. You kind of find a middle spot. You just pop it through and kind of do the same thing to the other side. We kind of just wiggle it so that it kind of will take, there's no real rough edges on there from punching that hole in the sign. So you're kind of good there. You'll take your pipe cleaner and you'll feed it through just like this. So there's no way this sign is going to pop off of the wreath, period. So that's why the hole punches work so nice. So I just color coordinated mine with pink. So kind of blended. And then we're just pulling them through. And I just kind of give them a little twist so the pipe cleaner stays towards the back. We're going to feed this through our Deco mesh.
Tiffany, if you have a really good person that supplies really cool ribbon, post it on the regular Cats Creations group.
What's that?
She said, I have the most amazing French macaron ribbon in both green and pink from Mrs. Emily Lohman of Flora Supplies Frenzy Group for this mesh. Awesome little group with her amazing quality supplies. Her ribbons are to die for.
Okay.
And the service is top notch.
Definitely post. I'm always about encouraging us to find
sharing information,
but building a community.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing it to the middle.
A lot of the gals in this group are awesome at sharing and helping each other. Even going out and buying what others need,
making special runs.
Yeah,
especially during the holidays when people are like, "Oh my God, I can't find that sign. It's not in my shop." So we try to find somebody close to you because we know if we get someone closer to you, the shipping costs are a lot more manageable than if I go out and find it, because we're here on the California coast. So things are generally a little bit higher. So we're going to kind of smush it inside.
Jackie said there are so many ideas to design a wreath. I get overwhelmed with what to do. What's your secret, Kat?
Pick one and start there.
She automatically just gets a design in her head, and that's what she goes with.
I generally don't. I usually just
You do when you see a sign or something. You usually know.
You get distracted because then you buy a whole bunch of signs and you're like, okay, I know I have all this stuff for it, and then those signs get buried somewhere, and then as you're starting to pull stuff out, you're like, oh, that's right, I have this one. So we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna grab all the fuzz so I know where my ribbon's gonna go. So we're gonna do, this is generally what I do so I don't forget. I will take the tops and twist them like so. This one's going.
She'll hold it up here in a second, show you what it looks like with the sign in it.
Yeah. Let me get this one underneath. I'm trying to pull all the ones to the outside that are outsides that are sitting up. So I know what's outside, what isn't. But what I was saying is I know I'm going to add a ribbon here, and I know I'm going to probably add a ribbon here. So this is what I do. I just twist the tops so that I know as I'm going around talking as I'm working, don't put something there because you're going to be working towards the ribbon.
Or a bow.
Yeah, well, bow's right there. Yeah. So this is what it looks like so far.
Yay.
Okay, so this one was a challenge for me because I don't, it's such a, it's like bubblegum pink. And I had bubblegum pink with a white polka dot, which I found, believe it or not, at Dollar Tree, but Dollar Tree doesn't carry it anymore. So I had to just make executive decisions, which is we're gonna add in this green and white gingham. It's like the shades of green with the white. So we're playing off of the awning in our sign. We're also going to be adding this ombre pastel ribbon, which is picking up all those colors in the candy. So those are going to go around the outside as our ribbon tails. So we're going to do that and alternate. These are, what do we cut these to, 14? I believe so. Let me just double check. 13 inches. So the 2.5 inch ribbon tails were cut to 2.5 inches, and I'm just taking these and we're going to the outside only, and we're just adding them right on top of the existing, what do we want to call this? They're not chenille stems. They're like wreath ties.
Tinsel, yeah, tinsel ties.
Yeah. So we're going to do the same thing.
Sandra said Kat's group was amazing, very happy to be in it. Daisy said, does Kat teach how a not to hoard class?
What?
She asked if you teach a not to hoard class.
No, because I'd have to go to that class.
Yeah, she would.
Because I do. And so I've been trying really hard to discipline myself, because Steve's like, well,
she's an organized hoarder though.
What? Yes and no. And she just doesn't understand my method of organizing. But I've been trying really hard to discipline myself with the fact that I bought a lot of stuff last year, end of the season. I need to utilize that this year.
Yeah.
But then when I got the sign, I was like, oh, this would be super cute, because I have a lot of candy left. So I already had the design in mind. So here's our bow, so we're skipping that. And we're just gonna go right with the 2.5 inch.
Dorothy, believe it or not, she only really ships with the USPS Postal Service. And she either does ground or priority, depending upon where it's at. And ground will normally always deliver within about 7 days.
Yeah, now it says 8.
8, and it usually is never more than about $25. And that's if we ship it from California to Florida, or even upper and east coast.
Well, it depends on weight.
It does, but for the most part.
Yeah, I think I had one that I think went to 28, but it was like the grapevine that had an awful lot of product in it.
Yep.
So when you get up to 6 pounds on an oversized box, it kind of can have a tendency of pushing that into an...
And she tries not to use anything more than a 24-inch box.
Yeah, 24 by 24 by 6 is my tops for the largest width and height. So some of these will take to being slightly compressed. I mean, once you put your tissue paper in it, your bows are going to get compressed to some degree, but you just provide them instructions that, you know, all your ribbon is wires, so just kind of take your fingers, put them in between the loops, and kind of pull them up. And you should have them basically pop back in place. So here's my other one. So I have the green. I'm actually going to take this one, even though there's this one here. Here's my middle, so I'm just skipping, and I want this one here. So we'll incorporate this.
Peggy, yes, you actually can buy the work wreath ties. I know Hobby Lobby does have them. I'm not sure about any other places.
Yes, Craft Outlet, Shop, Trendy Tree. I think they call them tinsel ties.
Tinsel ties.
Yeah. So I'm going to hang on to this one.
And you could even paint them any color you wanted to.
You could. Well, you have to look for the right type of stuff.
But you still can paint them. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pink. These are 1.5, so I'm going to go in and finish up the outside ones. So I'm going to take the 1.5. This is green, white, and purple plaid. These are cut to, I want to say these are 14. They might be 15. Let me look. 15.
15.
Yeah. And then the pink is going to go on the green plaid. So we have like plain with pattern, pattern with plain, just because it just makes sense to do that. So I'm doing what's called the half bows, but because I think I want to incorporate some candy in some of these, what I might do, because I have all my ribbon out here, is do what's called a double and actually create a bow like this. You make 2 halves, kind of put it together, and then you have this really pretty overly full bow. So I'm going to use these. a little higher. And I'm going to fill these, but I'll show you what they look like when you get closer to the bottom.
That's a great tip. Daisy said tinsel rope is less expensive.
It
is. It's a 25-foot roll you cut yourself. That'd be perfect to make your own wreath frame form.
Yes.
Yep. Great tip, Daisy.
Or if one of them breaks off, because we all know that that's inevitable too, right?
And Pat, yeah, if you actually go on Kat's Creations link, she has her affiliate link for Amazon. And I believe you have the boxes posted on there, right?
Everything.
She gets almost all of her boxes from Amazon, and they come in either packages of 10 or 24 or 25, something like that.
The larger boxes come in quantities of 10. When you get to the 18 by 18 by 6, they come in quantities of 25.
Yeah.
So, and I usually keep them, they're stocked in the garage, but when I get down to like the last 5 is when I will place another reorder. Because if not, as we near the holidays, obviously it's going to start to get super, super busy. And those boxes might take a little bit longer than you might really want them to be taking. So this is what the double bow kind of looks like. So it has 2 loops and it has 4 little tails. So I'm adding those to the bottom of some and to the sides or the tops, because I want to add some candy into the ones along the side bottoms where people are going to see them.
Antoinette and Lauren, they both said they're new to making wreaths. Any advice? Sometimes I get discouraged sometimes. Discouraged
how? Like, what is discouraging you?
Yeah, you gotta decide if you want to do it and keep it as a hobby, or actually go into it as a business.
Or just tell me where you're finding the discouragement. Is it design? You're struggling with design choices. You're struggling with sales. Things aren't selling. Where's the struggle at? And then I can help you a little bit further.
Her private group would be great to learn as well.
So I'm leaving. Do I want to leave that one? I'm just looking at, okay, I have one here, have one here. These 2 are open. That's a bow. This is a bow. I think I'll go up here and add 2 more. Because the candy's really big. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't really want to put a candy here because then you kind of lose it. Or even if you want with green candy, you kind of miss that. So rather than kind of compete and waste the product, I'm just doing some double bow type deals, sandwiching these together and then putting these right on top. And the nice thing with the tinsel ties is you don't need to cut them off. You can just leave them there. You like them, and the fact that they're white, it looks cute on this wreath.
Lauren said no sales.
No sales.
Yeah.
Okay, we are in the worst time ever right now for wreath sales. You will still get them, but you have to be patient. And I know it's really discouraging, but if you think about it, school's out. What are parents doing right now with their families and with their kids if moms don't work? Gail's a classic example of what our mom's doing right now. They're not sitting at home. They're not planning, what kind of wreath do we need on our front door right now? There are some who are, but the majority of moms are planning vacations with their family. They're not online. They're not on Facebook. You'll notice that your numbers will start to drop. You kind of have to take the focus off of the numbers and say it's going to be about stocking your store for when it gets busy, which for us is going to be just after Labor Day. So what you're doing right now is you're building your inventory. You're building your Etsy shop, you're building your Facebook page, you are working on your Instagram page, getting that ready. You're not wasting time. And then,
and if you gals start selling on Etsy, you don't have to worry about if your wreaths are overpriced for where you live.
Yeah, we don't sell to our towns.
Right. You sell online on Etsy to everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere within the United States, mainly.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, I have people like on the East Coast that sell predominantly to the West Coast, and people on the West Coast sell predominantly to the East Coast or Texas. It just depends. And so like right now during the non-busy season, you gotta think like we do, which is if you're gonna build a wreath or put a wreath on your front door, what are you going to be wanting to put on your door right now? You're either gonna want something that might be for 4th of July. You know, you might want a military wreath, or you want something floral that'll transition you all the way through to fall. Because you don't want to have to mess with the wreath on the front door. So you need a lot of everyday things. You know, florals that have that really pretty welcome sign.
Yep. Antoinette says she's got a problem with making poofs.
Ah.
So go to her YouTube page, and there's a lot of poofs on there. You can actually watch and see how she does it.
The best thing I can suggest is go buy the cheap roll of Deco mesh and a wreath form. Set up your wreath form the way that we generally do, and then just practice. You know, measure out exactly 10 from the time you're going from tie to tie. Stick it in there. Get all your poofs done, and then just practice unpoofing them. And if it doesn't look good, take it out and do it all over again. But practice makes permanent, which means it just becomes second nature to you and you don't even think about it.
Sharon asked if we could do a close-up on the double bow.
Oh yeah.
Put them all in?
The ones that I'm going to do here, I'll flip them because I did them more on this side because we have bows going here.
It's just a single awareness bow, and then you double it up, and then you turn it opposite.
Yeah, it's just like you kind of do it like this, and then you make another one, and then you just put your loops opposite of each other, and then you'll just bring your tails down on both sides, and then I just kind of fluff them so they kind of have double tails. It kind of looks pretty. It's just different. Okay, so now let's start our bows so we can see how much real estate on the wreath it's going to take up. So I have different colors for my bows that kind of stay within this color theme. So we're actually going to utilize these colors, which is a green and white gingham, craft outlet, purple pink shades of, this one came from Joann's at Easter, and then the turquoise blue and polka dot that came from Craft Outlet. So these are going to make up bow here and a bow here. So the colors are still staying within that color palette, but it's going to kind of separate it from the tails and the bows that we have on the sides. So, and I like this one, so I usually lay them out. This will be the bottom, the middle, and then the top, because I like.
Watch the Bodabra's kind of in front of the thing.
Sorry.
There you go.
So I lay them out. This is a perfect opportunity for you to play with all of your colors and decide how you want them to be. I usually pick the color I like the best to be on the top, and then I'm just going to kind of go, that's going to be my color combo. So we will open these. The downside about some of the ribbon from Joann's and Michael's, like this one in particular, is it's only 12 feet. So 12 feet is a standard bow by itself. So not an awful lot on there. As you can see, I've already, just with the double bows on this one, I've already hit my 12 feet on the first roll. So not an awful lot in there. So these are all ready to go. We'll cut off all of the folded ends, and then we'll put our dovetail to start.
Tracy, yep, she's done several bow videos with the Bodabra plus the Pro Bow.
And you're getting another one right now. So what we're going to do to start any bow is you dovetail your ends, which means you fold it in half. I use wired ribbon most of the time.
99.9%.
Yeah, there's a couple times you can get away with it without it, as if you're using it on the bottom for tails. like the sports wreaths, if you get the thicker, what do they call it? Grow grain? I'm trying to think of the way that I've been told to pronounce it.
Gross.
The S is silent. I say it's gross grain, but it's supposed to be grow grain or something like that. It's thick enough that it'll stand up on its own without any wire needed. But in this case, wired edges together. You're going to cut from the fold to the tip of your bow, or to the ribbon, and then that gives you that perfect point that we've been doing like this for so long, trying to get the perfect V in it without knowing there's an easier way of doing it. So for me, what I will do is I will generally take my wreath, look at my ribbon, and figure out how long do I want the tails to be at any one point? Where will they be impacting the sign? So if you want to keep like the one up here a little shorter, and then at the bottom have them a little longer, then this determines your size for your tails for my top one, which is probably 5 inches. So it's gonna kind of be a little short on the tails, only because I don't want it to hang way over my sign. So I'm going to do short tails on this one. So on the Bodabra, which you can get anywhere, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, I don't know if Craft Outlet, Trinity Tree, and the Wreath Shop sell them, but I know you can buy them at your retail stores. I get mine at Hobby Lobby, $15.99. Use your 40% off coupon, it's about $9. So, and it's always going to be about the twist. So you're going to twist in the middle every single time. So right side, twist. Now this is wrong side up, even though it doesn't look like it. And then you're going to just twist at the top again and push it down. And then you're going to decide the length of your bows. So using my cutting mat, I can put this right on the 30 and then see that my loops, probably want them about 4 inches so that I have something of substantial size, so it's not a dwarf bow. And then we're always going to do that twist.
Patty, the best thing to do on a candy is just Google it. We bought this candy out of a large storage locker stash probably a year and a half ago, and we've had a ton of it, so we've been just going through it. But Hobby Lobby, there's a bunch of other places that do sell that type of candy.
Well, I think I saw something similar, but it comes in like solid colors. So like your green would just be like 4 of these in a thing. So when I bought it, they were all in a giant tub, and it was all filled with candy.
Massive tub.
Yeah.
Maybe tubs, plural. Yeah.
Maybe. So I'm just going to do single loops just on the top one because I want it just to be a little bit smaller. So we're going to do the same thing.
Tiffany, great advice.
What's that?
She just said practice, practice, practice. Do what you said and just buy some cheaper mesh and just practice with it.
Even with the ribbon.
Don't go out buying thousands of dollars worth of inventory.
Even with the ribbon, go to Dollar Tree and pick up a couple rolls of dollar ribbon and just play with it. Because what's the worst that can happen if your bows don't turn out? You pull them all out, you know they're wired so you can straighten them out, and then just redo your ribbon again.
Teresa said this makes me think of Smarties candy. It does, huh? The colors.
It kind of does, yeah. But it's funny, on the sign it shows, it's like almost the same candy we picked out. It has suckers, looks like gumdrops, and then just lollipops. So it's always going to be just a twist. So you're working with the right side ribbon is always going to be to the outside, so twisting. And then just making sure our ribbon matches up. And then we're just going to cut this. And then you always want to make sure you finish off your edge. So you're going to dovetail cut it again. And then just move on to the next color.
And the Bodabra will keep it all in place.
Yeah, see, it's holding it. It'd be like me telling Steve, hold it. That's kind of what these are, is 2 big fingers. So the more that gets packed in here, the more, it's going to stack up to the top and get whiter and whiter. So again, right side on this side. See, this is why wire ribbon is so cool. It just curls with you doing this. So we're gonna twist. And here's our little tails. For me, people ask, why do you spin it? It's just easier for me to always be working to the left side. Probably because I'm right side. So this is like my workaround. So I just twist, and then you can pull your fingers if you want your loops the same. I generally have them come in just a little bit as I get closer to, and then do your final one. So it's just a short and sweet bow, just to fill up the top. And we're gonna use a light pink chenille stem. I just fold it in half like this. You're gonna pull up all of your ribbon. It's all nicely stacked. You're gonna pull your chenille stem all the way through. You can use wire. I just find the chenille stems easier to work with rather than thin wire. And then you're just gonna bend all of your ribbon around. I'm gonna set these to the side. And we're gonna add this to our wreath right here. So where I have these little twist ties twisted, now I'm gonna open them up just so I know, okay, this is where that bow was going to go, is right here in this corner. And I'm gonna go through and attach it right through the Deco mesh to the bottom.
Patty said this is beautiful. Sharon asked, she's doing a show September 27th.
Okay.
Is it too early to make Santa hats on witch frames and sell?
Nope, I would do them. I would
do at least a couple, right?
Yeah, you can do scarecrow hats, like a little, like do it with burlap and like fall ribbon and make like a little scarecrow hat for fall.
And do a couple Santa hats?
Yeah, and then just do a couple Santa ones. Absolutely. I think it's a perfect place to sell them. Saves the customer on shipping, you know? That's what you can tell them. If you buy them now, you're saving on your shipping. So now I'm just taking all these, spinning them around, deciding what I want where. This one's a little long. A little too long.
Tiffany, just go on her YouTube and just keep watching her bow videos. She's got a bow dabber one and a pro bow one.
What's that?
She said, my little boy, well, he's 25, took me to Hobby Lobby for Mother's Day.
Okay.
And said, just go all out. So
Aww.
She got a bow dabber with a bunch of other stuff.
That's a nice
She said, long story short, Jamie is leading the pack in the mom's favorite kiddo race.
Oh, wow.
But sadly, mom still sucks at bows.
Mom just needs to practice more bows. So that's why I said, just go find the cheap roll of ribbon, you know, go to Joann's or something and buy, or just take one roll of ribbon and just sit there and keep going. You know, it's almost like a figure eight, just a twist. Go back through your loop, twist, go back through your loop, twist, and then do a chenille stem, and then make it, fluff it, see if you like it. Like this one's just gonna be the short and sweet bow. It's not meant to be like the big bows we all see with tons of ribbon in it. And as you can see, I have my tails off in different directions.
Yeah, Sharon, you can make a candy corn too.
Yes, you can.
Patty said. Good
Candy
idea,
corn.
Patty.
We did that one last year. We made candy corn.
Yep.
I'll have to post some of those, resurface those videos again.
Hey, y'all just join in.
So there is our cute, short and sweet little mini bow. If we wanted to, we could come in and just add like a little candy, little ball, which you might do.
Were you doing two bows?
Yeah, there's one at the bottom. So I'm gonna do this one right now. I just have my glue skillet, which is already on. So it just allows you to do that whole dip and stick. And I have it just at the point where it's at the melting point for your glue, but not enough to burn. So it'd be like low temperature glue gun temp. And then you're just gonna take all these and you'll arc them really nice.
Said, so do fall and Halloween? Well, yeah, September 22nd, you're right in line for fall and Halloween. And
yeah.
even rolling into Christmas.
There'll be those people who don't celebrate Halloween, So you're appealing to those people with the whatchamacallit, with the fall. I'll post some pictures of like what you can make. There's one that we didn't even do this year for whatchamacallit, for summer. We're gonna make a different one. But you can do like princess hats, but I would stick to fall, Halloween, and every day. So the witch hat you can't really do the everyday ones with, but those should get you by. So let's do one with a little bit more to it for the bottom, because that could be bigger. The real estate's not going to impact our sign. So like this one, we kind of have to make sure it doesn't, you know, mess with the whole sweet treat kind of lingo. But here at the bottom, we can have the bows the ribbon tails cascade down a little bit more. So we'll go a little bit bigger. So we'll go, that was a 6 loop bow. We'll double it. We'll see what happens if we double it.
And you're gonna go a little bit bigger on the loops?
A little bit bigger, yeah. So like on my tails now, I can go way longer on my tails. So these ones you can do like little twisted, you know, loops. Once we're done, we'll do that. So let's see what's this one.
The tough thing about shows
We're gonna do 20-inch tails.
is we've done a lot of shows, but it's so hard to transport all your fluffy big wreaths on shows.
Yes.
You almost have to rent a minivan unless you have one, or have a big SUV, because it takes a lot of space.
It really does. And it has to be worth it. Like for us,
that's your table and all your stuff.
table, chairs, your easy up. Yeah, and it's a lot. Because like people who sell jewelry or candles, they're not impacted by that like we are. So I'm doing 5-inch loops. So I need to bring this one out just a little bit further.
Patty, the sign is from Jane's Front Door Decor on Etsy.
Or on her own website.
Or on our own website, and there is a discount code for Cats Creations, right?
If they order through the Etsy store.
If you order through the Etsy store.
Yeah. So these ones have 20-inch tails.
If you're in the private group.
Yeah. So this is 30, 20, there's 10. Here's my scissors. So I'm gonna go a little longer on my tail.
Teresa's the one that loves doing the puns.
Is she back to doing it again?
She said, "Son of a gum, this looks great. This
There
looks
it goes.
sweet."
It is very sweet, right?
Yeah.
So these are our 20-inch tails. And I did double loops, so this is gonna be a 12-loop bow. Let's see how long this one will go, because this is only our 12-foot ribbon, but it should be enough to get through. Maybe we won't go so long on this one.
Teresa said her problem is I come with too many new ideas at the same time and can't decide which one to start with.
Just pick one.
Yeah.
Just pick one, start that one, let the inspiration come. Like, I make a lot when Steve's traveling. Sometimes I'll make 2 or 3 in a day. But it's deadly when he leaves, because I'm like, oh, I'm out of this ribbon. Well, since I'm going to order this ribbon, I may as well look on the, because I generally will look at all the sales stuff, like prepping for next year already.
That's a good idea, Sharon. She says she hangs them on clothes rods
That's what we
inside
do.
the car. Yeah.
Yes, that is a perfect thing to do. Get tension rods and hang them. That's where a lot of mine stay inside the house. Since now we're empty nesters, we have a lot of space in our closets. So they just go up on the racks. So let's see. This one, I'm gonna let it go just a touch longer. So yay, we made it with that one. And then we'll do our blue. And then we can start adding our candy.
That's awesome, Christine. She says she's been going to locals farmers markets on Saturday mornings.
Those are
And
good
her husband
places.
transports the table, the canopy, the wreaths racks, and all that stuff, and they just pick up. Then I loaded all my wreaths in the back of the SUV really well. I hope you're doing really well at the farmers market.
There are some people who do really well.
Yeah.
Like our farmers market, our people wouldn't spend
Just
more than
depends on the
20
community
bucks.
if you're in, you know.
Yeah, like our community, no.
Right.
But there is a wreath maker who does sell at our farmers market, and she does pretty well. But her wreaths are
Not even the same class.
no, which is why she can sell them for, you know, $20 or $25. Because really, all she's doing is just trading all her materials costs. She might tell her husband, "Look, babe, I came home, I sold everything," but it's like she didn't make a profit either. Now she has to go buy new product and hope that at some point she can start making a profit.
Gotta at least make a small profit.
Yeah. So that's the problem with big tails, is they get in the way while you're flipping. So I'm just stacking, and then we'll flip this one. I love this blue. This was my favorite color this year for beach. It's this light turquoise.
Can we call it a robin's egg blue?
You can call it robin's egg blue because that's not a trademark term. You cannot call it Tiffany blue. You can't describe it as Tiffany blue. Say robin's egg, yeah. See, Steve knows. So there is our bow with our tails. We're gonna do the same thing. Chenille stem, make our little U. We're gonna pick this all up. So see, the bow jabber stacks it really nice. If you hold it like this, you can take it and put it right between your fingers. And then just take it and start twisting.
Yeah.
Just like so. And now we will add this to our twisted bottom.
I know a lot of gals have problems with ribbon storage, and Kat and I really figured out a really cool way. It's just like when you go into Hobby Lobby or the retail stores. We actually took closet organizers and put them on an angle,
Upside down,
so the bottom rail sticks up, and that's how we store a lot of her rails. I mean, she's got probably 500 ribbons
Yeah.
in all of her, on her rows, and
That's not even including the ones on the top.
yeah.
So yeah, I think just the shelf alone holds like 480 rolls of ribbon,
Yeah.
which is kind of nice.
That's awesome, Christine. She said she sold 11 wreaths on one Saturday. The last few Saturdays I've sold 6 to 8. So that's good. That's really good.
This over here.
Antoinette asked, how many wreaths do you recommend at a craft show to have?
Depends. You guys know your market. So like, I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna move my bow up to the top a little bit more. In my community, wow, I probably wouldn't sign up just because our community would not yield. I might take Santa hats and stuff like that, or angel tree toppers that I know I could sell for $20 or $30. That's all I would take, because I know that that's all my market would generate. Now, if I was going down to the beach communities here, they have a higher, they're willing to spend the money. So based on that September date, for me, everything would be every day, fall, a couple Halloween, a lot of Christmas, because by September 27th, people are in the buying mode. Moms are getting their homes ready for the holidays. Their kids are back in school. They've got their sports stuff done. So now they're in decorating mode full force.
Yeah.
So.
And Sharon, I've already done that. Kat and I have made several triangle stands out of the closet organizers and other stuff for her shows. In fact, I think we told people how to do that, last year, how to
Pinterest, ladies,
how to set those
Pinterest.
up. Yeah.
You just go buy your trifold closet organizers, like Steve says, stand them end to end, get the ones with the bigger gaps in them, not the small ones,
Yeah.
and zip tie them together like a little triangle, and then you can hang
Zip tie or Velcro, yeah.
six wreaths that way.
I think
If
probably
you have
9,
if you have your easy up, you're gonna hang them off the sides of your easy up. You can get a couple wreath hangers at like Joann's or Michael's that you can stand them up, put them outside of your booth.
Antoinette, the good idea too for craft shows is have different price points.
Yes.
And different sizes of stuff. Like have small stuff you can display on a table.
Storm door wreaths.
Medium stuff that's easier to grab. Yeah.
Yep. Angel tree toppers, witch hats, candy canes will be huge.
Yeah.
So
you could do a little candle holder around the candle holders.
Yep. You can do centerpieces, lantern swags, all kinds of stuff. I would just bring a wide variety of different things, especially stuff that takes no room. So all I'm doing is just kind of taking my fingers through the ribbon and just fluffing them. So this is what it looks like to you all from that side. I'll hang it up on the door to look better.
Pull up a little bit more. Angle it more. There you go. Yeah. That's it. Okay.
Okay. So now let's embellish. So I do have a couple things that we can do for all of this stuff in the middle. I have some, this came from Dollar Tree at Easter. So we have this hot pink flex tubing. And we have the green flex tubing. These. So we can double them up.
Sharon, Kat doesn't really recommend pancake wreaths all that much because you can get little suction cups on the outside of the storm door. You can do a wreath holder on the outside of the storm door. Because in between storm doors, it does not give you a lot of room to make a really nice, thick, full wreath.
Right. I don't know. I'm so about the quality, and then when you're asking what we want for our wreaths, you have to make them worth that. So if you're asking $80 for a pancake wreath, it's not going to happen because you're looking for something a little bit more flat so that it'll fit. So you're going to be using a lot of minimal stuff. You're not going to be looking for a big bow. You're not going to be adding an awful lot of ribbon because you're height challenged, right? We can't go too high. So I'm just adding some.
Yeah, in between a typical storm door and a regular door, it's only talking 3 inches of that, maybe 4.
Yeah.
So you're going to flatten a lot of stuff on your wreath.
So let me go back to this.
I think it's a bad section.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just a matter of just breathing life back into it. And then again, if you don't have the time and you don't want to yield the time, let's see.
Cut it off.
Yeah, that's quite a bit, look, to cut off. But I'm just using it at the top. I'm just going around the sign because then it doesn't look like something was supposed to go here. So this is where I want to put all of my little candies. So just the ones that kind of pop out. I'm just adding a little bit too. And then we have a couple on the top.
Linda, yes, that is Deco mesh tubing.
Yeah, it's fun to play with.
Get it at the Dollar Tree during Easter, during 4th of July. You can stock up on all different colors.
You can get it right now, I think, because a lot of online places are out. I know we checked Dollar Tree today to see if it was even in the red, white, and blue colors, and it wasn't. So, and then somebody says that they went and checked with all the numbers that we've given, and they're not showing, or just searching Deco mesh tubing. And right now, just give Dollar Tree some time. They will. I really don't see them as not.
You might be able to order online with Dollar Tree.
No, there's nothing available right now.
Oh, not right now?
No. I looked, because I'm always like, if people message me back and say, I can't find this, I've ordered everything off your material list, but I can't find this, then I'll try to go help them and try to find another avenue for them to get that product. So I'm just making little bows.
Judy Brady asks, what is a pancake wreath?
A wreath made with the ruffle technique all the way around. Ruffle, but you keep it pretty thin. You kind of go with a thinner deco mesh so that your wreath lays more flat. And then you just kind of stack deco mesh on top of deco mesh to try to give it some life. But like right now, this would be
At least 5 to 6 inches.
Yeah, this one is pretty much right at 6. So with most storm doors, they want 3 to 4 inches. So if you wanted to go grapevine, can't do it. The grapevine alone is 2 inches high. So that only allows you to build that wreath up by 1 inch, which is just one of these squares. That's not enough. So everything has to lay extraordinarily flat. Rag wreaths are great for that. And you can go with an awful lot of bulk because it doesn't matter if you smush it or bring it down.
So that's why they call it a pancake wreath, because it's very flat and it's meant to fit between
It is.
a regular door and a storm door.
Okay, so we've added all that. I take this and this. Now we're going to add some candy. So that was the reason why we left some of these holes at the bottom for our candy. So I have pinks, I have green, we have the little suckers. Somebody said break out the candy.
And these are all Christmas ornaments.
Yeah. There's the little pink peppermint balls. There's pink suckers. So we're going to incorporate a lot of these. Some are round, some are square. So like I said, they would sell these like this, probably in a 4-pack. And then here's another one that's more flat. So I have a mix. See, and this is all I have really left from the candy bin. So as you can see, like this one, what does it say? $8.99. Hobby Lobby. So this probably came with maybe 4 or 6 of the little ribbon candies. So we just went through and parted everything out and just created like little, what do you call them? Embellishment boxes. I was like stuck thinking of the word. So we're going to take some of these and incorporate, let me look, probably right here, here, and here for these, because I like the little triangle. Here's my triangle. We'll probably put the pink on the green. Let's see. We have here, so we can add a green. We can go popsicle. We could add green candy. But the simple thing with your, let me do this so you guys can see. So let's slide this over a touch. Don't want my straight pin. So now I can bring the glue skillet over. And the glue skillet's going to allow me to do what I call the dip and stick, which means I take my little ornament piece off the top so it's flush. And I'm going to take that point. I'm going to give it quite a bit of glue. And then I'm just going to stick it right where I want it to stay. So I think I have like 4 of these.
Tracy said she got a bunch of the deco meshing off Amazon cheap. Because Dollar
really?
Tree hasn't had any for a long time.
Okay.
Yep. She said you can get 10 yards of deco mesh tubing on the Oriental Trading Company for $1.47.
That's really good.
Great tip, Teresa.
Yes. So
there you go, Oriental Trading
Company. Yeah, see, I totally forget about that too. Being a back to school mom, you know about that stuff.
Yep. And then Sharon, I just sent you a little text. The apron came from Etsy. It's my cousin who makes them. And her Etsy name is Quiltin Sin, and I sent you her information.
So we're adding some little peppermint balls to our thing. Let's see. Let me look at this. I have one more, and I think I want to incorporate this one around the sign. Because remember, eyes are drawn to odd numbers. So if you're going to do things as a florist, they'll tell you to work within a triangle. So you would either go triangle here, and then you could do a triangle of a different color, but because I only had 5 of those and it doesn't make sense to keep a single guy floating around, what I did is I just incorporated 5, so including the one here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes are drawn to odd things, because they're like, why didn't she just use 6? Why didn't she go 3 and then 3? That's just, our eyes are naturally drawn that way. So I'm gonna add, I think, kind of looking if I want square candy. I think I like the round one for inside. These ones don't have any metal, but they have like little holes in the side if you wanted to attach those. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna dip it, and that's gonna sit right in to my little wreath. So I can still fluff my bow. And then we're gonna do one right here. I think there's another one off to the side. This one already has something. So let's fluff our ribbon again, because it went flat because we were making the bow. So let's go. I'm just eyeballing now. Now it's just a matter of preference. Like, well, how do you know if you want to stick a square candy there or a sucker? Do you want to go opposite? Which I think I'm going to go opposite. So we're going to do the same thing. So this allows you to get close enough without being burnt. So I'm just laying that right inside my pipe cleaner so that we have like little embellishment candy, like so.
Trick also too is once you glue it,
Yeah.
stick it on there and don't mess with it too much.
Don't touch it.
Let it dry up and cool down.
So I think, let's see, because I like the fact that we have pink on that side. I just pulled the ornament hanger off. So I'm actually going to take these, let me look at this, and I might just want to add a little sucker to this side and then a green sucker to the other side. Move these so they don't fall off. And then I'll show you what we did. So here is pink, so I'm going to flip my bow around, and we're going to just flip this around, because it only made sense. So if I put pink on one side, I'll put green on the other.
So Patty, yes, because this is tinsel ties on a work frame form, you leave the tinsel ties as part of the wreath.
You don't cut them off.
You can't cut them off, but you can leave them too.
I would cut them off if they were not the right color to go with this, which is why I went with white. If this was like red, oh yeah, they'd have to come off. But here they can serve as an extra hand for, you know, our candy to be attached to. We can attach ones. Well, this is too close. We did our sucker here. This might call for it, because everything else is occupied with a double bow, a candy, a ribbon, a really big bow, a bow with tails. So it's up to you how far you want to go with the candy part. but it doesn't have to be like overly big. Let's see. Not sure if I want to put one in here or not.
Is that in with the bow?
I'm just looking. Sometimes it's just a matter of looking to see, like if you could do something like this. Like would that work? I don't think so because the bow's too big. I think it starts to compete. So those ones we'll just save for a different wreath. Because we're definitely going to do another candy wreath for sure. More like sugar plum fairy.
I just said, any looking good for anyone for a sugar rush?
I know, right?
Antoinette said, I'm hungry now.
Okay, so let's take this one off. Let's put this one on. Trying to make sure it went on. So, this is where we'll fluff all of our bows. Make sure all of our ribbon is where we want it. So everything that's been laying down, we want to bring it to the top. So you can have a lot of tails if you want. You can take your tails, you can curl them up like so. Take this one and curl it. And take this one and curl them. This is that little curl thing. You can do them this way. So here's a couple options. Curling. And you can kind of pull them down a little bit so they kind of have a little curly hue through them. Do the same thing with the green. You just get them started.
The side's not crooked. She just probably needs to adjust the wreath a little bit on
yeah.
the hanger. That's all.
Sorry. I didn't even know this. Because when you stand off to the side, you don't notice it that much.
Yep.
So you can go like this.
This would be cute for Christmas wreath, but you could definitely, you can market it to candy shops and different places.
Yeah, because there's some people, you know, you could do it for a baby shower.
Yep.
A little girl's baby shower, a little boy's baby shower. It just depends on, you got to really get creative and think outside the box. How are you going to mark that? What are you going to say it is? Is this a Christmas one? It doesn't have to be. It's entirely up to you. So you just fluff everything. Because you don't want any of your bows laying down. So, just like so. And if you want, you can spread these apart. I just tweak my side again.
Straighten up again. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's what happens.
It's probably a little crooked on the nail.
Let's see. There we go. Now it'll stay.
Kathy asked how long were the tails on the bottom?
20 inches. So you could do them this way, or you could take them if you wanted to. And you could do this side thing where you do them like this. And you can just kind of pull and let them spiral. If you want a spiral curl. You just rotate them this way. And then just kind of pull them. So it just creates a different look. It just depends on how you want to do it.
I just said, love it. Thank you for a great tutorial. You didn't disappoint me whatsoever.
Oh, thank you.
Marie asked, what would you sell this for? That's always a tough question.
I know. I have this one listed for $80. Just because for me, a lot of this stuff I can't get anymore. Like the candy now it's
yeah, I like
out.
how you did the curls. That's cute.
You like the curls better?
Yeah.
So, see, you curl them like you're going to do your curls, and then you grab your middle and pull them out sideways so that they spiral curl. Like, okay, that one didn't do it. So you like spirals. You could do all kinds of different things with this. But this could be a birthday party wreath. You know, for a little girl's birthday. Like I said, baby shower, Christmas.
Who said it's my favorite for the tails? Sharon said, how long can you make this? Just depends on how long you want to put them for. I wouldn't do too much longer than that right there, 20 or 24 inches.
Yeah, because I think at some point, like, this is a regular size door, so look, we're like almost level with the door. It just depends. I mean, there's some people who really get crazy and they want really long tails. You can go whatever you like. I always say that when we're creating our wreaths, make what you like. So there we go. I'll leave that one there. I'll leave it with the curly cues. So yeah. What questions do you guys have that I can answer for you? Steve already posted the link for the Beadsmith 1.5 millimeter metal hole plunge pliers because our sign vendors are getting too busy to take the time to punch holes in them, which I don't blame them. I'd rather them work on more designs.
Sharon, time-wise, well, you just saw it. She just did the video in an hour and a half.
And I talked a lot.
And she talked a lot.
If I don't talk, I just work.
So she could probably get this done in about an hour, hour and 10 minutes.
Easily an hour.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff's prepped. So yeah, simple, easy to do. Any other questions you guys have? Remember this weekend, we're free and clear. I will be posting something later tonight for the private group asking what kind of masterclass do you want for Monday. I think we're going to do Instagram. So I'm going to dive into Instagram. I know some of you may not be big on Instagram, but the numbers are there. So anything that can help get traffic into your Facebook page where you're selling, or your Etsy shop where you're selling, or wherever it is that you're selling your stuff, Facebook Marketplace, you need an external source to help generate that traffic. Posting on Facebook once a day is not going to cut it. You know, the rule of thumb is at least 4 times a day, if not more. And additional traffic, Pinterest, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram. So Instagram is the hidden gem that's been hiding too long. So you can sell off of those as well. Any other questions that I can answer for you?
Thank you. See you next week. They all said thank you. Love it. Beautiful as always.
Next week. Let me tell you. The surprise, right? The 100th video thing. So we were going to do it today, but I didn't get a chance to put a whole bunch of fun hype stuff going behind it. But next weekend we're going to do huge celebration for the 100th celebration. We're going to give away wreaths. We're giving away Hobby Lobby gift cards. What are we doing?
Bodabra.
A Bodabra, some more stuff. So, and we are making, where is it? I'm trying to think of where I can go because I'll give you a little teaser. Look on under the window, middle section, wrapped in bubble wrap. The wreath design for next week. It's half Halloween and it's half Christmas. So it's definitely taking me out of my comfort zone. Don't ask me where I'm purchasing the materials from because I will not disclose that. It's not going to be a make-along. So this is a one-of-a-kind thing. But I'm doing this for my daughter. So this is your preview for what's to come. So you guys can tell me, do you know what this is from? Some people will know. Moms with kids will know. But this is our design element for our wreath on Friday. And no, I'm not giving away that one, but I can show you what we're doing. And then if you like it, I can take orders for it. So, anyone guess?
You guys know what it's from? Anyone? Anyone?
It takes a while.
Bueller?
It takes a while to go through.
Yeah, it does.
So, we'll see if someone knows.
There was a big delay earlier.
Was there a big delay?
Yeah, it was like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing a lot lately. So.
Anybody comment on what they know the sign is from?
It's an inspiration piece.
Sandra said no clue.
Anyone?
Says welcome to the upside down.
Right, which could go this way too. Or either or, right?
Yep.
So, it's on Netflix. Our kids know.
It's huge right now. A lot of kids love it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a TV show.
It is coming out season 3 this year in July, which is why we're pushing this. It's for the season 3.
Brenda said my kids are too old.
Most of our kids are too old. Okay.
Karen said no idea.
I will tell you, this is from Stranger Things. So if your kids watch Stranger Things, it's a television show that's only on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't watch it on anything else, but in the mid-range genre, 25 to 45 years old, they generally know what this is. If they have kids, their kids watch it. Our kids are huge, huge fans of it. So we are doing a Stranger Things themed wreath. There are a couple of them out there, not well done at all, trademarked, but kind of not, because it doesn't say Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. It's just, it alludes to what people know if you're a big, huge fanatic. So our daughters are going crazy.
Simone and Daisy got it, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things,
yeah.
Right. So we're doing Stranger Things inspired wreath design next week, Friday, with our big, huge celebration. So with Stranger Things, it's going to be half Christmas, half Halloween. So like I said, it's challenging me. It will be lit.
It's going to be really interesting.
It's going to be really interesting. Yeah, because I'm having to really think outside of the box and not go completely to the deep end.
It's for our youngest daughter, though.
Huh?
It's for our youngest daughter, right?
Yeah, it's for Kaylee and Isaiah for their Halloween door.
Yeah.
And then we might do another. Caitlin and I might do a wreath in the middle of the week because Steve's going to be traveling. If so, we're working on one for her, which is inspired by. Is that sign in there too? I'll show you the other one. I can't tell you where I ordered these yet, but I will. I did promise the vendor I would help solicit her business. So this is the one I think we're going to do next week too. So do you guys know what this one is from? So my daughter begged. So we will be doing this one next week too. So we'll see if you guys know where this one is. More than likely you know because this came on regular TV.
Yep.
This one Netflix. That's
and our oldest daughter loves coffee.
Well, I'm just going with this thing.
We do too.
Yeah.
But it's mainly off another TV show.
Right. And I will share where we got these as well. So you guys can hit up the vendor like crazy because they don't have the info. I thought they did.
Cynthia's all friends. Kathy's all friends.
See, you guys know.
Older generation will know
Yeah.
that one. Yeah,
So we're going to be doing a friends themed wreath. So I'm going to show you how you can dip into the whole licensing without, because you can't sell this on your Etsy shop. You can't. But you can definitely demo it and say, this is what I'm making. I'm making these for my daughters. But if anyone's interested, you can message me and then we can chat. So that's how you get around the whole copyright legally. Mm-hmm. It can be a custom order. It cannot be an item you post on your site, on your Facebook page and say, I have this for sale. Message me if interested.
Right.
So yeah, these are what we're working on. So this is where my brain has been going. And we're going to be working on some fun stuff towards the end of this year. I'm going to really be pulling out all of the big stops and showing you how we can make everything you can possibly think of. We can find a way to incorporate it.
Yeah, a lot of people got the friends. Isaiah's on. He says, I'm going to come over afterwards.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Probably because we're going to go to dinner at Texas Roadhouse and visit with Kaylee.
Yeah.
Because that's where she's working. All right, everyone. So I will make sure I update you. Stay tuned. Watch the fun trailers that are going to be coming for Friday, and make sure all next week you want to share. We want to drive the traffic into the site because we want to get a ton of people familiar with what we're doing and have a big party next Friday. What we're making.
Have a great weekend.
Have a happy Father's Day to all the fathers of the wives that were nice enough to let them watch today. Not that husbands give permission, but they support us. So hats off to all the dads out there that make it possible for moms to do their creative thing.
Thank you, gals.
Talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.